Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superstar Relay with Bae, the new series here in Ottawa where we recap everyone's favorite local competition, Ottawa's Next Drag Superstar. I'm your hostess, Beirut, and today I'm here with an amazing friend of mine, Season 1 alum and porkchop of Ottawa's Next Drag Superstar, Erwin.
Spooky pork chop, as Chris called me. I love that. I still every time I wake up, I open my eyes and I whisper to myself, spooky pork chop. And I go back to bed.
Love that you have that title. Um,
Right?
Another title that you have is MX Congeniality that you won during our season of Ottawa's Next Drag Superstar.
I know.
To me a little bit
Rightfully.
about like what that meant to you and things like that.
Well, I went into the competition not really expecting much. Let me just adjust my camera a little bit. Oh, because I debuted, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like kind of hang around, and I knew my troubles going in, so I thought, oh, these bitches are gonna experience the same troubles, as in getting hungry, not having like water or whatever. So I thought, oh, I'll bring these people food. It's fine. I don't care. And I guess it worked out in the end. And like when I got it, I was like, holy shit! Like I cried on stage.
Girl,
Yeah.
I forgot that we literally named you MX Congeniality because you kept bringing us food.
Like,
With pizza, you came in with Timbits, you came in
yeah,
with beverages.
yeah.
Degenerous queen.
Ostara, take notes. Um,
I completely also forgot that your debut was literally the premiere of Ottawa's Next Drag Superstar. How
yeah.
did it feel in that moment to like have that be your first time in drag on stage?
Well, that night I didn't eat for like 5 hours because they tell us to be there at like 7, but
Yeah.
realistically it didn't start until 8:45. So I was a little shaky. I remember Sue and Kelly being like, "You stopped dancing for a second." I'm like, "Yeah, because I didn't fucking have any food for 5 fucking hours. I'm starving and no water, and I had one shot from Chris."
Not you being drunk on one shot. I live.
No, literally. So but I lived.
I remember I was going third and I was so nervous to do the show that I literally almost threw up right before going on, and it was insanity.
Uh,
I remember Emma Mann was ahead of me, and she
mhm.
was doing a comedy number,
Oh
and
God.
everyone was laughing, everyone was living. It was so good. And I was just behind her, and I was like, okay, like everyone's really enjoying her number. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think about mine? And I was in the bottom that week. So,
Yeah.
so here we are. Speaking of people that went home first, we have Ostara here as well.
Hi.
Hi, Ostara. How are you feeling now that you've been like that you've done the competition? You know kind of what it was like. You've been watching the competition all of last year.
I
And
was there every week last year.
yeah, and everyone that I know has lived the competition through your Instagram stories last year because you were so great. You posted all of us on your stories and you were just like the biggest supporter of it. And honestly, I was so happy to see you on the cast this year because it was like such a huge transition from spectator to performer to like competitor. And yeah, like how did that feel for you?
It was literally the craziest experience I could possibly have. Like, I went into last year and I auditioned and I did not get on, but I was familiar with a lot of the people on the cast. So I went, I'm going to go every single week and I'm going to see how it runs and how the competition works.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with literally everybody on the cast. I was so obsessed with like being there every week and seeing it in person. And the idea that people found out who I was through me posting videos of you guys performing,
Mhm.
getting on the cast was such a full circle moment for me that I was just like, I was staying with my parents at the time and I got the email first thing in the morning and I opened it and I screamed out loud and scared the shit out of both my parents. I felt so bad, but I was so excited. Like,
No, honestly, I live for that. But can you tell us a little bit about your number during Autos Next Track Superstar? Like, what did that number mean to you as a performer?
that was probably one of the most emotional things I've ever done with
Mhm.
my drag. I live sing occasionally at gigs, and it's always, you know, covers and stuff. I've done my own music once before, and there's something completely different about singing your own music versus trying to recreate somebody else's. That song's really personal to me. It came out of a lot of really fraught emotions when I was like 19, and COVID had just hit, and I was really struggling with my mental health and like feeling about relationships I was in at the time. And that song is just such a personal thing to me
Mhm.
that performing it for a crowd that huge was kind of insane. Like it felt crazy.
The room was fucking packed too. It
So
was,
packed.
and I know like for the variety show at every competition, like everyone's talent numbers are always so personal to them. I remember during my run, I did belly dancing for mine. I was trying to show my Lebanese heritage. I was trying to
Mhm.
display that. And then also to land in the bottom that week was actually like kind of like it shook me a little bit because I was like, oh, like I'm here to like display my drag and my culture. And I'm like, am I doing it justice? Am I
Mhm.
like, how are people from my community gonna feel about that, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And Erwin, you had quite a memorable premiere as well. Why don't you tell us about do you remember your number from
Yes, I made my own mix. I remember the first time I ever spoke to Bae in person. I don't think you remember this, but
Drag Me?
Bae, she went to every single person. She's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And she came up to me, and I said, like, "Oh, I make music. I made my own mix." And she said, "But what are you doing for your talent?" I'm like,
And I oh
I was like, okay, like I made my own music, and like I made my own, but I think I laughed in the moment. I was like, this bitch just said that
Did
to
I really
me.
say that?
Yeah,
This bit.
it was so funny. I like even in the moment I wasn't offended.
Erwin, I also want to highlight how you literally were the first person to go home on that competition. And you've done so much since the competition. Can
Yeah.
you like talk to us about your little achievements that you've had?
Since then, like I think a couple months later, I got into the pageant. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was top two with Caligula. I was like, holy shit. I I think I only prepared like 2 weeks before because I was procrastinating. But
But your talent number was one for the books.
yeah,
It was
and
incredible to see live. It was so cool
uh,
to actually like experience that in person.
I don't know how I'm gonna top it, but I'm gonna try.
It just goes to show that like no matter how you do in this competition, just getting critiques and being able to work on your drag helps you so much in the future because like you debuted in the competition and a few months later you were the runner up at the pageant and then you won another competition like another 2 months later.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to talk a little bit about the show last night.
All right.
How did you guys feel about the show? Who were your highlights?
Last night was kind of an absolute blur for me because I was hearing other people's concepts and what other people were doing and seeing other outfits and starting to doubt myself.
Mhm.
And everybody was just so supportive and so sweet in the dressing room that I just kind of forgot about that. And I went into like, I was literally halfway between like dying of excitement and wanting to shit my pants. Like I was just so nervous.
Yeah.
And I definitely understand my critiques. I'm not delusional. I know that last night was probably not the best I could do for myself. But when it comes to other people, like Stella's incredible. They're all incredible. Everybody on this cast is so good, and none of us had any clue who was going to go home first. Turns out it's me. It me. Everyone did so well. I adore Slushy's mind, and I think that coming out of that freaking garbage can and dressing Yeti up like that was just so, it was so stupid in the best possible way.
Yeah.
I love her for that. I'm really close with BJ outside of the competition even, and his voice is just like mind blowing to me. I'm so excited for him because he's relatively new as a king, and I'm really excited to see what he has in his mind for some of these categories because he's very smart. Everybody's incredible and very supportive, which is, I was a little worried that like everybody was going to be really nice at the photo shoot and like complimenting each other's looks. And then we'd get to day one of the competition, everybody was going to ice each other out. That did not happen.
Even on our season, no one was like trying to like sabotage. Everyone was really nice. It was such a welcoming and like safe space for everyone.
To me, the people that stood out the most were Extravaganza.
Yeah.
Yes.
That bitch walked out there. She took one step, and I was like laser eyes focused on her. Like she
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
was the moment. She owned the moment.
Exactly. Yeah.
That look, the hat, the titties.
We were all talking about the hat backstage.
Yeah.
Definitely the top three were amazing. Freya,
Mhm.
Stella, and Hibiscus, they all killed it. Obsessed with Freya's number. With
Ray's
her-
old lady drag is my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fun.
This bitch and her loaf of bread, girl, her Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread, one squeeze proves we're the fresh guys. Woo!
Fun little backstage thing. I can't remember who it was, but afterwards somebody was eating the bread. I can't remember who it was, but somebody was eating the bread.
That is so fair.
But yeah, Erwin, was there any special standouts for you?
I gotta say, from the bottom of my heart, BJ was robbed. Should have been top 3 for me. Should have been top
Agreed.
3. Oh my god.
Jeez.
I told that to him like in the bar, outside the bar when he was leaving. I was like, you really should have been top 3 or like even like honorable mention or something.
Mhm.
It was an amazing, amazing performance. And I did not
Yeah.
see those petals coming.
Right. And like he gave it to like someone in the crowd too. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. It was
Mhm.
amazing. Bitch, Ostara,
Mm.
if you had the chance to redo the talent show, do you think that you would do anything differently?
I wouldn't change my act necessarily, but based on the judge's critique, it would be belting more, eyeliner less. So
Honestly, so excited for Redemption Week. Ostara,
mm,
you tell us what you're planning on doing next week.
yes. Honestly, that was the one week in the categories that we have that I was a little nervous about. We hadn't really come up with a complete concept for the outfit. My mom makes all of my outfits, and that was our plan for today, was we were going to sit down and plan that outfit. But I knew the song I wanted to do. I was going to do the song R.I.P. by the Boulay Brothers.
Love.
Love Dragula. I was hoping for some sort of like alien priestess goddess thing, and I was going to paint my whole body one color for the first time ever.
Sickening.
Fierce.
Before we leave, I want to give a huge congratulations to Stella Soleil for winning week 1.
Yay.
She ate that up. I didn't get to watch her performance because I was taking my makeup off. But Stella, from what I've heard, ate the house down.
Oh yeah.
Juggling act. I wish I got to see it. But huge congratulations to Stella, and we will see you next week with the next eliminated contestant from Ottawa's Next Drag Superstar, which you can catch every Thursday night at the Lookout Bar at 8 p.m. Get your tickets online now at the link in the bio for the Lookout Bar. And have a great day, everyone. Bye.